whatever, or you invent computers, or you invent suddenly IT, and this completely changes all the boundary conditions, the whole paradigm, and you start over again. Great. So what you predict from this is if you demand, as we have done, continuous open-ended growth, there's a kind of theorem, in an approximate way, that you must have cycles of innovation. Great. That's what we've done, and if you plot the data, it's beautiful, fits. However, big catch. If you have this superlinear behavior, as you grow, instead of life getting slower, it gets faster. That's what the theory predicts, and every piece of data you look at shows that, including even, may I say, the speed of walking, which we've looked at. The speed of walking systematically gets faster. So that's already a problem, that life is getting faster, but in terms of this continuous innovation cycles, what it says is that, yes, you can do this, but the time between innovations must necessarily get shorter and shorter in a systematic way. So the clock by which we live isn't this clock that's determined by the Earth going around the sun. The clock we actually live by is determined by the social networks that we participate in and producing this extraordinary quality and standard of living and all these wonderful things. But unfortunately, that clock is the one that's continually accelerating relative to this one. So something that took maybe 10,000 years to do 100,000 years ago now takes 20 years. Major innovations get shorter and shorter. Well, what it means is that we're on this treadmill that's getting faster and faster. Life is speeding up. And it speeds up in such a way that every once in a while we have to jump to another treadmill that's going even faster, but we have to keep jumping at a faster and faster rate. So it's kind of a double acceleration. So the question is that sustainable? Well, if you believe any of this, obviously it isn't, because eventually you get to a place where you have to have the equivalent to, say, the IT revolution every 2 years. Something like that is paradigmatic shift. So this is kind of a big picture framework based on these ideas of, first of all, getting it from the data to get a theory that is an approximate theory, but an approximate theory that works extraordinarily well on the average, and taking that to its ultimate conclusion. And so what you see from that, and incidentally, all of the data on innovations fits this theoretical framework. So, you ask yourself, what's the way out? What is the solution to this? And, there isn't a solution other than making revolutionary changes in terms of the question of what you mean by growth, what is growth, and the fundamental question, can you have wealth creation, innovation, ideas without having open-ended growth? And that's a question that I think is still begging. I think my own feeling is the answer may well be no, but in any case, if there is an answer and we do have a solution, my concern is not that we can't find a solution, but there's no time. And can I finish up with one thing about exponentials? And people may have heard this. I discovered it, I'm going to take 1 minute. It's not original. It is original with me, but other people have a similar kind of little picture of what exponential means. It's the following. You want to grow bacteria, say penicillin or some antibiotic, and you start at 8 in the morning with one bacterium. And this bacterium has the property that it reproduces every second. Okay? So after 1 second, there's 2, then there's 4, and it goes up for 8. And you've calculated that by 6 o'clock in the evening, the jar is exactly full. So the question is, at what time of the day is it half full? 1 second before. 5 seconds before, it's 2 to the 5th full. which is 2 to the fifth, is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 32. 3% fall. 10 seconds before, this enormous long time, of course, this is very short time relative to the enormous time that it's been living, it's 32 squared, which is 1,000th, 0.01%. So these people are living in this universe, these little bacteria are living in this universe when there's, what did I say, 5 seconds to go. Everything still looks great. They've been going for all this time, looks fantastic, still wonderful, right? Another second goes, still looks fantastic, right? Even 1 second, and then boing, that's us. So I disagree with something someone said. We are on the edge of a cliff. We're in that few seconds, as far as I'm concerned, and we should have been thinking of these things, beginning with Malthus and certainly with Paul Ehrlich and the population bomb. We should have been thinking this in a grand way and recognizing that all of these systems, whether it's global warming, the environment, financial markets, crime, pollution, disease, are all interconnected, complex adaptive systems, and we better have, in the language of the field I did come from, a grand unified theory of sustainability. That's what we need. Otherwise, there won't be anyone left to think about dark matter, or so we'll end up being hunter-gatherers again. So that's my approximation.
Thank you very much.